Right. Okay. Sorry for the late start. Life does seem to get in the way. I think I've managed to get my audio issues sorted. I'm going to be streaming some Spectrum games tonight. And sorry for the audio. It's not brilliant. I'm still only using basic laptop audio and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to be streaming some Spectrum games tonight and just talking a little bit about Spectrum graphics and things like that. This will go up on the College YouTube channel and it'll probably stick around on the Twitch channel for a while. But really, it was just to kind of, this is aimed at the first year Project 1 that we're doing, where we're going to be making versions of different versions of Pong using 8-bit ZX Spectrum graphics, which are from microcomputers back in the day. So I wanted to show off a couple of different computers. There might be a bit of a lag on the chat, so bear with me, please. But yeah, good evening. I'm seeing. I know my second year username, so hi Harry. Not familiar with the first year ones yet, so you'll have to bear with me. I'm not sure who's watching and who isn't. But let's get playing something. So I've got some games to put on. You've got to bear in mind that a bunch of these games are, well, all of these games are from kind of the mid to late 80s. They're very, very early games, and so you're not necessarily going to get fantastic gaming experiences from this. Obviously, if you come into it after the fact, like yourselves, then they are a curious artifact. For somebody like me who grew up playing them, they're a bit of a blast from the past from, 35 years ago. I've tried to keep it down with that flow, but do tell me if problem with sound. This Marietta. Alright, we'll get rid of that. So, Spectrum graphics. Let's talk about resolution first. And I'm going to try and play as I talk here, which is never a good idea. That's good. So I did say that I am playing these Spectrum games via a streaming service called Antstream. I'll talk more about that in a bit. But these Spectrum graphics. So believe it or not, this pinball game is a really, really good example of Spectrum. It's actually a really good Spectrum game. The frame rate isn't too bad, as you'll see from some of these games. The frame rate is really, really bad. But we're talking about games 35 years ago. I mean, the interesting thing when looking at its graphics, as many of you all know up from is there could only be 8 different colours, and those colours are in blocks of 8 by 8. So if you watch really, really carefully, watch the book, you'll notice that it changes colour. This is great, isn't it? I'm like playing it. There we go. So as it goes into the castle, you'll notice it changes red, and when it gets near the red thing, it changes to that colour, and that's because the colour is kind of separated from the graphics themselves. So the graphics are white or black, and the colour on top of them blocks. So it's a really odd kind of system, and then you get called colour clashes, where the colours blur to each other, and you're seeing that a little now with ball. I'm sure that exciting to watch. So it's not exactly that exciting to play. I'm actually not even. There we go. Pressing much, doing its own thing. But as you can see, an early Codemasters game. So Codemasters, a very well-known British company making Spectrum games. They went on to show you one of these in a bit. Dizzy Fantasy World Dizzy games were a particular favourite, and an early kind of game icon. Certainly a micro computer, possibly the most famous character out of the micros in the 80s in Britain. The egg. So And the other thing to note as well with these games, I see this with a lot of the games, that the Spectrum was so weak in its power, as was a lot of the micro, that you couldn't actually have the whole thing on the whole screen. So we can see on the side there, on the right hand side, you've got quite a lot, and they get away with it in a pinball game because pinball machines are quite, straight and thin. But you'll see, like I said, you'll see that in a lot of games. They often tended to put health meters on the side and things like that. So let's try something else. Let's see if I can go on to something else. So yeah, I was saying this is using a system called Antstream. Antstream, there isn't just Spectrum games on here. If I just go to here, there's hundreds and hundreds of arcade, Mega Drive, Amiga, Spectrum, SNES games, all sorts of stuff all over the place. And they have tournaments. As you can see here, we've got Sensible World Soccer Tournament, Missile Command, Pac-Man, Gallagher, classic one. This is one that I watched. DJ Slope, he's a British southerner that does a lot on retro gaming. So I the other week, we were all participating in this tournament. I think I came 7th actually. I was quite chuffed with that. But Metal Slug X. So you'll often get retro celebrities doing stuff on here. So yeah, they've got tournaments. They've got all the games have got like challenges on them, which is really good as well. So you can try Antstream for free. I am going to see if I can install it at the college, see if we can utilize it for some research because there's some really old games on here and worth looking at when we're making older stuff. So let me get back to the Spectrum stuff and let's see what else we can play. So what am I going to? I'm going to put Ball Breaker on, which looks like a Pong game. It's an Arkanoid game. So remember, I told you about the first solo iterations of Pong were these Ball Breaker games, Brick Breaker games. The weird thing about this one, so this one uses another colour kind of scheme that these old Spectrum games used to use. My goodness, why is that not doing that? There we go. Where they just use two-tone colours. So in these small colour blocks, you could only have two types of colours. So you can see a lot of these games would do something. So this Pong style game is almost unplayable. I mean, it's really, really difficult to figure out the angle the ball's coming in at because it's at this weird isometric angle. So it's an interesting artifact and definitely one that you could put in your research for Pong. But it is a bit of a weird kind of way to do this. Why they didn't go with a top-down or even a side view, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, you've got kind of this weird experimental viewpoint. But again, if we put this into context, historical context, did terribly then. Remember, this is, games are brand new. No, not many games have been made. There's nothing around. People don't know what to make and how to make it. Oh, terrible. So they're experimenting. They're trying different stuff. They're thinking about how, we can do anything we want, what should we do? And they're coming up with this weird stuff that's very hard to play, apparently. So when we think of isometric games, they were around in this early period. And they were applied to some really weird stuff. Anyway, that's frustrating me. I'm going to try something else. See what we can try. So yeah, there's a couple of Ball Breaker 2 games on there. There is an Arkanoid, but I don't think Antstream's got it, unfortunately. So what have I got on my list? Let's have a go at Cybernoid. So Cybernoid is a great example. If I can find it on here. I might have to start searching for these just so you're not watching me walk through. these different games. But as you can see, there's loads and loads of games on the Spectrum here. So let's go with Cybernoid. A good example. So here we go, the Cybernoid 2. So this is a shoot 'em up. Pretty good shoot 'em up by all accounts for the Spectrum. Better graphics, much better graphics. Really good use of colour on this one. So really pay attention to the graphics on these games and how they use colour to really differentiate what's happening on the screen. When we watch a game and when we think about the way things are being portrayed to us as the player, we have to think about what we call readability. How easy is the game to understand straight away? And with a very limited colour palette and a limited resolution of graphics, it's really, the games have to be really clear. In that last one, in Ball Breaker, the game wasn't clear at all. It was really difficult to make out the ball versus the floor it's on and the bricks and everything else. This one uses colour really well. So let's have a show of this one. So it's, as you can see, it's quite easy to see where you are in relation to everything else. It doesn't necessarily make the game any easier. These golf games aren't particularly difficult, but it's not difficult to play. It's not difficult to figure out what's going on. It's just difficult to achieve anything. I don't think I can kill that thing, so I just need to try and get past it. I just need to dodge. No. Yeah, okay. Really good sound as well for the Spectrum. Bearing in mind, Spectrum 4 was bullshit. So the sound is pretty good for this game as well. But again, you can see most of the screen scene do. We've got a lot of. We haven't got a background. This one. So I've just got a. The other thing as well, these games aren't meant to necessarily be played with an Xbox gamepad. We would have had back in the day something called a Kenston joystick. So again, all these micros, you would actually use a joystick. So the Kenston was the cheapest, not the cheapest, but it was the best quality for the price. If you really want to spend the money, you've got a Jaguar one that offers. This is the later Spectrum game. This is late 80s, maybe even early 90s. I can't quite remember the dates. But you can already see the conventions are starting to come into a place. This shoot 'em up game isn't that different from some of the arcade games and stuff that we're seeing R-Type at this time. It's got, you move from screen to screen, which is very common of games from this era all the way through to the 2000s. So it's not. So we're starting to get conventions setting in. We're starting to see things that we would normally see. Let's give Boulder Dash 3 a bit of a go because this is quite an interesting one. Again, readability here is a bit of a problem. It's an old. And as you can see, it doesn't use colour tremendously well. So this, you have to basically move and dig through. And when you dig under a boulder, it does that. I didn't realise it rolled. It just drops on you. So you have to find your way through the maze, collecting things without boulders. So there's a bit of a puzzly element to this. Nice. Give it one more go and then we'll put something more interesting to look on. Interestingly, when I tried this the other day, when I was prepping for this stream, no, I didn't want to. Um, there we go. This was all in colour. This was in green, sorry, and that's in white. So I'm wondering if there's some sort of random colour generation on this one. So it changes different colours. I'm getting the hang of it now. But I mean, you know, they are by all accounts they are very good games. I'm sure you are saying that to yourself. But again, you just got to bear in mind. It's like watching films from you know the 1910s, 1920s even. You're not getting really, really good films until what the 1930s with Gone with the Wind and Oz and things like that. Before that, films were not great, and that's because the medium is still finding itself. You're still trying to figure out what you're doing, and so you've got a similar sort of thing here. But even with that said, you've got games that people would have spent a long time just playing and being entertained by, even at this early stage. What I haven't mentioned up to now is the covers. This is something we've lost in the games industry, and we need to get it back. These wonderfully animated covers. I mean, look at these covers. Look how good these covers look. The artwork attached to them. And if you've got time with your Pong game, it would be wonderful to get like a nicely drawn cover. You can all draw to a certain extent, so you can all produce something that looks really, really cool. Let's try horoscope skiing because you might actually recognise this character, become a bit of a meme over the years. And this is quite an infamous kind of weird game. So if you notice, no controls, just movement controls. Come on. Because that is just killer. But across the road, get me ski. No, let's go. Now, I've just got to go for it. Come on. Damn it. Come on. Go, 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 go. Ah! I'm forward. Right. Good time. Just to get across that. Oh, that would have been it. Yay! There we go. Now I have to ski. So it's the weirdest thing. Oh, and I've got to go through how am I going to get through that pole there? I think I did it. No, I didn't. And you really can't go near a tree. The collision detection is not great. So you think you're just going to miss a tree, and you smash straight into it. This is the best I've done. So, you know, one of the reasons we've chosen to do Spectrum graphics for this first project is simply, you can get away with pretty average graphics. You don't have to worry about doing really, really good graphics, and it'll still look like a Spectrum game. I'm actually doing really well here. This is weird, and I'm weirdly enjoying it. I'm actually feel like I'm achieving something. I can't believe I didn't. Oh, I missed that gate though. And this is the thing, the weirdest thing, it's got awful graphics. And yet, I can't say I didn't enjoy that. I really enjoyed playing that. And it's so this about these old experiences. It's going to repeat now, isn't it? Turn that off. I do think that there's some procedural generation going on with the flags there. I don't think they're the same every single time. Okay, just a few more things. This isn't going to be a long stream, but just to give you a little bit more. I did say I was going to play a bit of Dizzy, so let's have a look at Fantasy World Dizzy. These are my favourite, and I'll happily play. We want the Spectrum version. I'll happily play Dizzy now without, not even nostalgically, not even for a stream or anything. I'll frequently. Try it. I talked over that. I've got to do that again. Let's just quit and start that again. Just check out the voice sampling. Now, this was really early days for voice sampling. So really, really early stuff. And as I was saying to my HND students today, the Spectrum had no way really of recording sounds. Or you could record sounds onto the tape because the game was loaded up on the tape, of course. But the sounds created by the electronics, it's chiptune. So to get synthesized voice in it is pretty difficult, as you can hear. Listen to this. So yeah. So Fantasy World Dizzy is basically a puzzle game. There we go. So I need let's drop that. I need that jug of water. There we go. And then bring the jug of water over here. Now you can see the colour blue as well on the side of the water there. And red, green. This troll is going to tell me I can't go there. Away. So I need to drop the water on there to get through. So this is early platforming, early puzzle solving, early really just open world, to be honest, because all the routes are connected. You can go wherever you want unless you hit a barrier like the rat there with a beam. So I've got to think from the tail red. Whoops. Don't know what the wizard does. Now this is a bit of a jump. 1, 2, 3, jump, and so the crocodile. See, so I do know this game. Now I can't get past the dragon yet. Don't know how to do that, so I'm going to come back. And the graphics for the Spectrum are pretty good, aren't they? I mean, again, we're limited to colours. This is moving around, going to have the colour look. But I can tell what's going on. I can think this world. But again, not using the full screen. There's the bit at the top there that actually denotes how many points I found from this. I didn't do that. And how many lives I got left. That's really, it doesn't need to be that big. No, you can't manage it otherwise. Great. There we go. That's fine. There's a bit of an Easter egg here. You look up at the picture, it's the last section, Treasure Island. So that was number 2. I did number 2. This is number 3. We got a quiz. Oh, yeah. The flames actually will hurt you. So we've got, environmental damage in here as well. Not necessarily the most. You've got to remember. If you go jumping around, you are going to get killed a lot. But when I said I wanted to make a game of Spectrum graphics, this is the type of thing that I'm looking for. See the brick there, all it is red, not coloured complete, and then the black seems through and creates a brick effect. Oh, one of the yoke folk. Denzel, and Denzel's going to get to the rope. There we go. Oh, you already know, accept that rope. And another coin. So collectible. Early example of collectibles in a game. Filling the game out with a little bit more, and not just having you solve the puzzle. but actually putting collectibles in and help spread the experience out. Think of that as a relatively new thing. Yeah, we're seeing mid-80s through there. Another book for you on that. Okay, so this phone, I'm going to drop the, I'm going to drop the whiskey there. So this is the other thing, when I find out what that whiskey does, I'll have to come all the way back in. So I can only carry 2 once, which is a bit frustrating. And again, artificially extends the length of the game. Because really, once you know what you're doing on this game, it'll only take a couple of hours to complete. But, you know, back in the day, that's what it did. So this meaty boat is going to stop this hog from getting. So what I have to do, go in here, drop the meaty boat, and then jump back up here. He'll go for the bone, and that gets him out of the way. There we go. Now, as I've been playing through, you might have seen there's a bunch of boulders. I can pick those up, and I'll show you why. And I'm pretty sure that bird will try and get. So what you do is you drop the boulders and you push it towards them. So all the puzzles are common knowledge or common sense, if you like. And it is trial and error. And when you run out, I've got no lives left now, so if I die, I'll have to start all over again. As is the way with these games. Sorry if the music was a bit loud on that. It certainly was loud for me. It was a bit louder than the other things that we've put on. Okay, last couple of things then. Oh, let's see. So I don't know how many of you have played Streets of Rage or Final Fight or Street Fighter, those types of things. But a really early example of a side-scrolling beat-em-up, one of the most popular and successful games on the spectrum, Target Renegade. So there was a set of games called Renegade, and then Target Renegade was a spin-off of that. Looks quite rudimentary now, but this game I played with a friend of mine a lot. There. How did you laugh there? Come on, let's get. Oh dear. Right, what's going on with this tonight? Right, that's it. You need to get them both in front of you, really. Right. Yep. Ah! I'm not doing very well here. As you know. Ah. Got hardly any help left. Right, come on. That's it. That's it. There we go. It's been a while. It's been 30 odd years and stuff like this. And it's quite sophisticated. It's quite sophisticated because there is there you go, a back. So if you go behind you, get them. That's it's okay. Always send the background and get that colour. Got red stuff on them. Now, with your games, I don't necessarily stimulate that colour bleed, although can do if you want to. I know once you do the past story, experiment with that, never go with that. But you can see of black again. Can I pick that up? Yeah. Nice. Got it now. Go. Yep. Oh, sorry. Back to the music on this one. That was not great. Yeah? No, I figured it out. So, I said before that you would have got actually what like you would have played on keyboard, just no mouse, my kids a bit just so it's really with the game pad and thumbstick and whatnot. Level 1 complete. I'm proud of myself there. Oh yeah, I can't deal with that music anymore. Sorry, you must be the same. And you can see the graphics are very simple. I've gone down into this car park and it looks exactly the same. Okay, last one. What should we put on for the last one? Oh, probably one of the best looking Spectrum games you can find. Okay, this one was a mega hit back in the day. It's called Myth. It was ported to everything. In fact, I'll show you the Amiga version after that one. Well done, Unicat. You did, although I've been on for a while, so I hope you've been watching. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I will be ending fairly soon, Marisa. Yeah, I'm going to have to ask you tomorrow who you are and what your names are, aren't you, so that I know who you are. But thanks for having a look. We're just going to have a look at Myth. So you probably left that comment ages ago, didn't you? And I'm only just reading the chat. As I told you, I'm not a professional streamer. I'm not great at streaming. So as you can see, graphics on this game are pretty good for a Spectrum, is what I'd say. And I will show you the Amiga version in a bit. That is, I'm not sure what my controls are on this though. I've got jump and I've got run, but punch. Oh, what happened? Game over. What did I do? Rewind the tape and then press play. Wow. Yeah, that is what you had to do when it was game over. You had to reload it all up. Let me reload that myself. Quick game. Let's just have a quick look at the controls. Because I cannot work out how to punch. Again, loved this game back in the day. So cycle items is there. Attack, jump. Okay. So I should have an attack. But it doesn't seem to want to work. Is that because I have no attack? Yeah. Yeah, so I can't go that way because there's a skelly there. Whoa. I don't know if they're taking my actual energy. Oh yeah, big time. Didn't mean to do that. So again, you're very limited on colours with these graphics. You're really going to have to think about colours. But as you can see, you can, just with a few pixels, really... Why do I keep jumping? Really get some kind of interesting looking and good looking. Oh, did die that time. Graphics. But these are some of the better graphics, as you can see. And again, we've got that same, you can tell these later games, because they're all following the same sort of conventions. You've got the stuff going across the top. You've got the main game in the bottom. I'm going to die. Oh, no falling damage. Yeah, I need to probably look at my controls for that, because I don't think I was playing that really well. Right, just compare this then. So that's the Spectrum. Around the same time, you had C64 and you had the Amiga. These are the Amiga graphics. But, so just have a look at these. So for a start, mute sound straight away. And you're going to see the very big jump up in graphics, but it's still a microcomputer. This is just kind of the next generation of microcomputer. And whereas Spectrum games came on a cassette tape that you had to load up, Amiga games came on a floppy disk. So this is 16-bit. Oh. You can see that it's been ported over and the design has been completely changed through the port. So it was made by a different company this, so it still missed and still followed the same basic principles. And oh, no, I can punch. Yeah. Well, I couldn't. Oh, right, that's what I'm getting wrong. I have to actually punch in a direction, which is weird. I can't just press punch. Oh dear, I don't think it likes that. Oh, have I got? But you can see the difference in graphics now, can't you? So this is 16-bit. So we'll be using, we'll be doing this for our platform game, 16-bit graphics after Christmas. So they're the style of graphics that you're looking for. Right, I think I'm going to end it there. I did come on later than I said I would, and my apologies about that. But you've got some kind of idea of what Spectrum games look like, and a bit more information about them. Check out Antstream. It's well worth it. I mean, some of the games on here, like the arcade games, if we look at, like, for instance, Metal Slugs, I mean, one of the best looking retro games around. And, you know, feel free to, I'll put this on YouTube, feel free to tag it in your research and any notes you've got from what I've said. Well, tomorrow, we'll look at context. And so you'll be able to, there'll be a whole paragraph of style graphics, so everything that we talked about, you can take I thought, context, your context paragraph, and you'll have that there. One row. That's good. Game type. But yeah, I do recommend service. It's like for the paid version, I'm looking in there. Well, I tell you that I watched DJ Close. Charge got set off. So I think the thing is £40, which, you know, again, it's not just the thing that I'm I don't know if I'm going to pay the full amount, double amount, but it's so anyway. Okay, so I will be doing more of these streams. Certainly one's connected with both first year, second year, and maybe HND projects, although I'm not doing much before any practical work on HND. So it'll be mainly level 3 stuff. If there are any year 2 students still listening, I know I haven't done one on mini golf games. If you would like me to do one on mini golf games, let me know tomorrow and we'll set something up for next week. I know you've already done a lot of your research and stuff, but hey, you can still add that sort of thing, and we can still have a look at some stuff. You can recommend games I can play, and I'll give them a try. So, thanks for joining me. I know it's not necessarily the kind of thing you're into, but it's nice to have people here watching. And yeah, I will see everybody probably tomorrow or whenever you're watching this. I'll see you soon. Okay, thank you very much. See you later, everyone. Thanks, Harry. I like Super Meat Boy. So it's a good emoji. Right, I'm going to stop it now. See you later. Bye bye.